professional guitar coach, and been enjoying this S20V today. You can find my stuff online at www.danielserif.com. That's like sheriff with no H. Rolling.
They be hating.
Yeah, so for me, a lot of times when I'm looking into a guitar amp, I generally am a pedal platform guy. So I need quite a bit of headroom, especially because on gigs that I play, I might need a really kind of pristine clean. And so this is cool. Like the 20 watt is way more in that territory for me because I think, especially in channel 1, it stays clean really loud, and so I could get it nice and clean, and then step on pedals and use that approach. And then in channel 2, if I wanted to, I could totally go for more of that gritty thing. So it's kind of the best of both worlds in a lot of ways. So what I'm noticing about the two channels of this 20 watt version, the channel 1 feels a bit cleaner and more round in the bottom end, and I'm finding that channel 2 seems a bit more mid forward and punchy and a little tighter in the bottom end. And it was funny, as I was demoing the amp, a couple times I was I had the pedal board right in front of me, and I thought I had clicked a pedal on, but I actually hadn't, and it was just the amp breaking up in a really nice way. And I've really kind of cultivated my drive pedals over a long period of time, and so I really like the sound of them for the most part. And so it was cool to be oh wait, none of them are on, and it just sounds that good.
Awesome.
say that I am a humbucker guy through and through, because I just came from like the kind of thick jazz kind of tone background, and I've done more studio sessions where I realized, well, you don't always need that richness; it doesn't fit in the mix, and so it's cool. I do think that the S20V is really nice in the way that each of the pickups that went into the amp today were like really touch sensitive, and so like there's just like way more openness and like headroom with the Telecaster with the single coils, and those are Tom Brantley's, and they're like, you know, fairly classically low output. They're not super high output. And then it was like when we went to the P90s, you really heard the pickup, right? There are definitely some modern amps where like if you went between those two guitars, you just get more fizz, or you just get more fuzz, or you just get more compression, rather than I felt like the S20V was like really like, it was open to like whatever was going into it, and it was sensitive to those different pickups. So by far for me, my favorite kind of tone was like kind of channel 2 or them stacked with humbuckers. And part of that is because you can roll them down and you start to get less of that punch in the front end. But then when it's wide open, it's just like boom. And that's fun. Big differences that I'm noticing from the 10 watt to the 20 watt are just like, and I think this is classic that happens when you have more or bigger tubes, but it fills out this cab. Like, I love the size of the cab, especially for the weight of it. It's a very light amp, and the cab is like, I would call it an OS, an oversized, right? And so I think the 20 watt really fills in the space of the cab and has plenty of bottom, where it makes kind of like it really fill up the room. like the idea of having some flexibility on the amp itself. It could allow me to bring a smaller pedal board. But I love the idea. Like, I really enjoyed some of the sounds that I got out of it when I was jumping the channels. And I feel like having kind of like an ABY, you could kind of do that, and you could kind of blend them. And I think you can get that kind of like clean approach, and then have that more pushed approach, and then the stacked approach. So it's like, it's almost like you have pedals in the amp rather than necessarily relying on so many. And I know that in general I kind of have a lot compared to many, but I like that versatility, and I like that with this amp I have the potential to maybe reduce a little bit of what I would need to step on in order to get kind of a really nice variety of tones. Alright, I gotta say, I have an S10V. I like it very much. And I think that blue is super sexy. But tell me that this green is not the sexiest thing you've ever seen. I mean, that just looks so good. That looks good. I like it. It's good. One other thing that I really like about the S20V and the S10V, I haven't tried the 40-watt version yet, but just I think the weight to like level of sound and quality of tone, volume, I mean it just packs a punch for a very lightweight, really easy to manage combo. And you know, I kind of think it's funny because like a lot of people are like, oh, you should get a combo because it's lighter. A lot of times the combos are heavier, right? If you break all the components down into two pieces, those two pieces that might be, when you combine them, heavier, but you could always put one in each hand, right? So like I'm actually generally a head and cabinet guy. And so I really appreciate that this amp is packing a giggable level punch at a very nice kind of weight, and of course really excellent price point as well. Out here as it does.
I mean, it's like, it is like
crazy.
Yeah.
Wow.